Hello! Welcome back to the next episode in this tour of my Little King story recreation in Minecraft. Now, the first episode was very experimental, and I just want to start off this one by saying thank you so much for the level of positive reception it got. I was not expecting it to be so well received, and it really means a lot that a lot of people thought it was a particular. I've done a good project here. I've done a good job with this, so. I'm really happy that a lot of you like it as much as I like making it. Um, so this episode is going to be very short because I just want to cover a few things that won't really fit into uh, any other episode. So we're gonna get right into it. But before we do that, I want to quickly point out that last episode I mentioned in our first episode that Royal City took ages to do, and I don't think I ever really explained why. And essentially, it's the fact that Little King Story's world is very packed with so much stuff. And one of the problems I had is, well, I need to make sure everything lines up correctly. You can kind of get this away with this a bit more in a much more open game. But in a game where just every nook and cranny is covered, if something doesn't line up, it becomes immediately noticeable. So, for example, this walkway needs to go to the school, and the school needs to be a certain size, so that this little path here doesn't suddenly, get in the way of this building, or this building's too big, and then all of a sudden these won't line up. Things like that. There are already a few places where I've kind of made a few mistakes with it, because it's just so hard to get this kind of thing right, even though I have tried to plan this all out mathematically as much as possible. But essentially, yeah, this is the reason why Royal City took so long, and I don't think I really made that very clear in the first episode in this series. Now, the reason I really bring this up is because in this episode we are going to be exploring Farmland. Now, Farmland is another very, very tightly packed area. So a lot of the same issues I had, or at least a lot of the same challenges I had making Royal City, I also had with Farmland. And I'm also going to be very careful that my camera does not show something that might be a bit of a spoiler. If you played Little King Story, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've yet to play it, that's your silly problem. You need to get on that as soon as possible. Anyway, so this is Farmland, and I had a blast making this, I have to say. Again, it's all very tightly packed, and some things don't quite line up. The observatory here is a little too far away. But this is the Skinny Observatory, and being very careful with the camera, we're going to go up the hill and see what's at the top. And it's Skinny Ray's telescope and his desk. And if I fly real quick, you can see how I've made the telescope, and I also redesigned the telescope over at the castle in order to match up, because I realised using trapdoors I can get a much sleeker design out of this. And here we have this little classroom, which I didn't even realise that Skinny Ray actually sits here and teaches villagers that wander past about his conspiracy theories. And I only really realised this recently while watching a stream. Specifically, I think it was Negative Sanchez's stream. So, there you go. Learning something new every day about this game. Even though I am the so-proclaimed expert, as people say. Now, another thing I didn't really go into a lot of detail in the last episode, but I really should have, is I mentioned that I'd made a lot of insights to buildings, but I didn't really explain, in case you're unaware, that Little King Story doesn't really let you go into a lot of the buildings around Alpoco. There's a few select ones which you can, but the rest of them have doors which you can only really send citizens in to tax collect. Although apparently a lot of people did not know that, as I've been finding out lately. There's so many secrets to this game. So we don't know what's in Skinny's observatory, but I have done something in there to kind of fill in the space. In my imagination, what do I think would be in Skinny Ray's observatory? And I don't think it's exactly what I think would be in there. But for now, I've done something kind of fun that I just thought would be fun visually. But I'm not going to show it because I don't want to spoil everything about this map, because I do want people to experience this for themselves when they eventually are able to. This is the shopping arcade with the floral florist, which I just really like how the design came out on this shop. And then I put a ton of flowers on the inside because Minecraft does just have a ton of flowers. And then all of these buildings are technically the same model in LKS, but they have slightly different designs. So I've kind of tried to go for the same thing here. Some of them I did design slightly differently, just so it doesn't stand out quite as much. But yeah, it was really hard interpreting some of these. This is a toy shop, for example, and then this I think is like to do with like monsters and stuff. So yeah. And I also have to give a quick shout out to the Riverside Cabin over here, not just because, you know, I have to show this off, but also for being the most inconspicuous property that you can buy. But also, if you tax collect it, you get like the third best armor in the entire game. And it's so cheap. It's something like the fourth cheapest property, like Kingdom Plan, and it's just so worth it because you get the striped undies. But now my laptop's really hating me for playing this because it's starting to heat up a little bit. Anyway, so this is the northern part of Farmland, from which its name is derived, and we have a ton of farming-related stuff. We have this little pen with these two like cow pattern polka dot gates on either side, and there's supposed to be a ton of cows and sheep, but they keep wandering off. And you know what? I can only correct it so many times. And I'm really happy with this. This is the lumberjack hut, which has a giant axe just leaning on its roof. And using stairs, I've kind of made this giant axe leaning on the roof. And I'm just really happy with how that came out, to be honest. And once again, you can't go inside, but if there were to be an inside, I thought, hey, a ton of logs just piled up and makes sense. Bless me. We have another farmer's hut over there, and then we have these patches of fields, which I made sure to put the crops in the exact places that they were in the reference images that I was given, once again, by Jazzband. But the crops actually change, and I did not notice this until a recent stream, but the farmers come and they change the crops. They pick them up and they put them in places. So it's actually, me trying to be accurate is actually kind of in vain. It's kind of pointless. I'm not in vain. Bit of the wrong term. Now, to be honest, this is a little too spacious here. This house over here should be pulled forwards just a tiny bit. But whatever. That is something that can very easily be fixed later, if it needs to be. The watchtowers, which I did show off very, very briefly in the first episode, I have redesigned them slightly because I got some better pictures of them. So they look like this now, and the one in Magical Land, I have updated its design to fit this as well. And now the most controversial set of stairs in Little King's story. Yeah, this set of stairs has caused people a lot of pain just due to the fact that you have to climb up them at an angle, which can get people stuck due to this cliff and nearby, which doesn't let you really change the camera very well. But also the fact that you don't get formations until after you have to climb these, and they're like the only required set of stairs, and it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances, unless they were made painful to encourage you to use your army to send people up or something. I don't know. Either way, I'm sick of hearing about these stairs and I never want to hear about them again. And this is the Onii Grounds, where you fight the Onii Man, the second guardian, or third if you go for Yvonne. And over here, I decided in the end I am going to include every hot spring, so here is another hot spring. Why am I including every hot spring? Because the world just feels so weird without them. Like, they just really feel like they should be there. So there's the big hot spring that overlooks the Onii Man's fight. And this is the Onii Grounds. So we have torches, which thankfully we have soul torches to mimic the purple ones. And we have this tree with the flag on it. We have these piles of rocks everywhere, although there is actually one missing. I'm not sure how I quite did that, but that will be fixed later. And then we have the first Wonder Spot, Wonder Spot 1, Former Onii Grounds, as it is renamed after, you know, annexation, colonialism. You get the gist. We have this set of stairs which you can construct to walk up onto this ledge, and again, try to swizzle the camera so that we're not showing anything in particular. And then if we go over here, we have a giant purse, which you can destroy with a merchant, which would be flying if this were the PC port, for no reason whatsoever, because the PC port, as we all know, is absolute jank. These glowstone are here to represent the little markings that the Oni like to draw all over the Oni kingdom, and I think it works pretty well, and also allows several darker areas to be lit up. And then we have this set of stairs, which there's a hole there with the toy staff in it, I believe. And then over here would be a set of pots, one of which contains an art piece. And then over this way, along this ledge, which I had to redo like 700 times because I kept getting the shape wrong, there's a little hole that has Oni in it here. And then, yeah, that's just a fun little bonus area. And we are pretty much done for today. I know it's not been quite as eventful, but I thought having a shorter episode allowed me to go into a bit more detail on these areas, rather than trying to rush and just show everything within my terrible screen recorder's 15-minute time limit, like I did last time, which was a little bit of a disaster, I'll be honest, because I really don't feel like I gave things the proper time they deserved, and it allows me to be a lot more relaxed as well. Anyway, we are going to finish with a quick zoom out, which is going to show the kind of spoilery thing a little bit. So, if you want to remain unspoiled, then I'm going to say thank you for watching once again. Again, thank you for all the support on the first episode of this series, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next episode, which should be coming quite soon, because as the eagle-eyed of you will have noticed, most of Dark Valley is underway, and I cannot wait to show it off in the next episode of this. So, we're going to go for a quick zoom out, and then we're going to maybe quickly go and show that spoilery thing, starting now. So, I also don't want to show too much of Dark Valley because I want to save it for that episode. There you go, there's the Onii Grounds and Farmland. And of course, the thing I'm talking about is the flying machine, which I'm just really happy how this design turned out. Look at that. And you can go inside, and it might or might not lead to something, maybe, but I don't want to show that off just yet. Partially because it's incomplete, and partially because it's really spoilery. So, hey, again, thank you for watching, and I cannot wait to show the next episode of this, where we will go into Dark Valley, which is very, very almost complete. I just have a few more things I need to touch up on it. And then we'll do a proper zoom out of the entire world so far, with the Dark Valley completed. Anyway, take care, guys. I wish you all a happy new year, and I hope this year goes really well for you and better than the last one. See ya. Bye.